Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slang Hope, and I got another video for y'all. In this video, I am going to be talking about this dominant narrative that is being perpetuated in American society and culture that depicts the man, the father, in a certain light in America, right? And a lot of times, you know, and predominantly the black community, right? And this is a narrative that is also portrayed globally, right? It kind of like goes out, and this is the narrative that a lot of other people portray about what's going on in America when it pertains to fathers, right? The interesting thing is that I got this from Maury, right? The Maury show really put me on to like how women in America can conduct themselves in any way, any manner, any fashion, and the blame is still on the guy for some reason. But before I even get into the video, make sure you click the description below to purchase my book, Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang. You can also click the link to the documentary that I'm in, We Came to Heal. Like I always promote healing in our communities. We need to heal. We need to be able to restore ourselves, right? So we could be grounded and we can continue the good fight and to thrive. And also there's links to my social media if you care to follow me in other places, right? So let's get right into this video, right? Now, the Maury show. I don't know if the Maury show is still on air. If it's not, I'm pretty sure you can find clips on YouTube just to get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, for example, let me depict a scenario that we probably, the ones who know about the Maury show, have seen time and time and time again, right? So in America, pertaining to this show, right, you see how women come on this show sleeping around, right? They done slept around multiple guys. A lot of times they don't even know who the father of their child is. In some cases, the dude is denying it and he end up being the father. But in a lot of cases, the women don't know, regardless of what, the women are not sure, right, who the father of their child is. And the crazy thing is that even in the show, when they find out, when the paternity results come back and they find out that the father is not the father, notice how most of the people, they run to console the mom, right? They run to try to make the mom feel better. They reassure her. They tell her, oh, it's okay, no worry. You know, we're going to help you find, we're going to help you. So now she got to go through this list of trying to figure out who else she slept with that could potentially be the father of her child, right? You rarely ever see, I don't think I ever seen them go to the man and says, we apologize, right? Or try to, try to make the guy feel better, right? Even though the guys be excited that they're not the father, right? But nobody, this is a smear campaign. You got to understand, this happens in our society, right? Chicks are careless. They get engaged. They get involved in all type of ways. And then there's never like an apology, right? There's also a stat that came out that I forgot the percentage of paternity fraud. Because a lot of dudes don't even get a paternity test. You get what I'm saying? So we got high cases of paternity fraud in this country, of moral degeneracy, right? We have that. So they get to go on these smear camp. They get to, you know, engage however they want. And even when they're in the wrong, right, they be telling them, no, it's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay that you are sleeping around and you don't know who the father of your child is, because you got so many encounters and you're not being responsible with what God gave you, right? And some way, somehow, the guy is always going to be the blame. This is why, brothers, you got to be smart out here. The courts is not for you. In any realm, the criminal court, the family court, like civil court, like the court is not in your favor. And no matter how these sisters display themselves and they behave, they be siding with them. Now your name is all smeared. Everybody looking at you funny. Even if you are in the right, you already went through this smear campaign because they're going to tell their story. They're going to tell their narrative. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, they're going to believe them. So there's this narrative of deadbeat dads, but there's no narrative of deadbeat moms. No narrative whatsoever. And this is my thing. If the reason you're putting all the blame on the men is because subconsciously you agree that women cannot make decisions on their own, right? That they're not smart enough to make decisions on their own when it comes to their bodies or their children. If this is what you're trying to subconsciously say, and this is why you put all the blame on the men, I can take that. I can accept that. I accept the responsibility. But in the times when you're trying to say women are just as smart or even smarter than men, where it's her body, her choice, where she gets to make the decisions and live with them, why are we removing blame from them? That doesn't make sense. If that's what you're saying, that they're just as smart, just as capable to do X, Y, Z, then why are we removing blame when they're blameworthy? Because I can understand, right? It takes two. This is why another thing I don't understand. It takes two people to lay down together. It also takes two people to consent to have unprotected sex. Two, not one. It takes two. But it only takes one person to decide how to go forward with the pregnancy once somebody gets pregnant. That's not fair. I don't think that's fair. It takes two to lay down together to consent to have sex. It takes two to agree to unprotected sex. But it only takes one to decide if we're going to have the child. No, that's not right. It should take two. The same way it takes two, it should take two to decide what is best for this child. It takes two. Okay, that's his body, his choice too. It's your body, your choice. It's his body, his choice too. And y'all both agreed. Y'all knew what could come from this. But to force a man, if a man told you, I can't be there, we not there, I want to do something right, don't sit here and act like, oh, well, you did it already, when y'all both made a mistake. Like you want people to understand your mistake, but you don't even want to understand that the brother could have made a mistake too. How many times are people engaging in sexual acts and they don't know no better, and diseases get spread, unwanted pregnancy happens, and you're going to tell me you don't know how you're going to be able to take care of this child. None of y'all might be working, or none of y'all might be stable, and you're going to bring a child just because you don't believe in abortion to the world. And then you want to force a child on this brother that might have just genuinely made a mistake. But when you make a mistake, it's okay for you to go to abort the baby. Even if you have it, it's okay for you to go drop the baby off at a church or somewhere that you don't want it. They got like drop-off centers. It's okay for you to do that. But when a brother makes a mistake, he has to be condemned for it. Like I said, brothers, it's not fair to you. It's geared against you. And this is why you have to be 10 steps ahead of the game. You have to be so many steps ahead of the game. You have to be. Because they get to move around with no impunity. And I'm not trying to get the brothers to get the pass just like the sisters. I'm just showing you that there is not no fairness. Also, within the last 2 years, specifically black brothers have been more involved in the life of their children. Up to 70%. It hasn't been that high within the last 30 years. Right? These are developments. This shows that brothers are being involved in the lives of their children. But they don't promote this. They don't put this out there in the forefront. They don't. Because they still run with this dominant narrative that they are victims. Right? And they paint this picture in reality that they just can't make the right decisions. Which I agree. Right? I agree. But if you keep telling me that you can make the right decisions, that it is your body, your choice, then it has to be your responsibility and your consequences too. Right? So brothers, some brothers is lost. Some brothers, they never got over the abandonment of their fathers. And they never got over the toxicity that their mothers exposed them to. Right? So some brothers is too far gone. But for the brothers that understand what I'm saying, you got to be better than that. You got to hold on to your power. Do not give up your power. Do not give up your power in a country, in a culture that is already geared to paint you as the villain. That is already geared to destroy you, where you ain't got no wins. You ain't got no wins. So we have to be more uptight. We got to be more structured, more disciplined. Because we know they're not going to be disciplined, bro. We seen what they have been doing since it's been their body, their choice. Right? We seen what they've been doing with their bodies. They don't care about their bodies. They don't respect their bodies. We seen what they're doing. So we have to be the ones to be a little more structured, a little more disciplined, so that we can kind of like try to restore our communities and do something that changes the narrative and also shifts our communities, right? Because it's crazy out here. But you got to be smart, man. Starts with you. Starts with you. So you don't have to be in this mess. Peace.